Welcome to episode 64 of Cinema Curse. Tonight, live from Toronto. It's a special episode sponsored by the city of Toronto and their glorious all their arts and festivities. And we're also talking about Tron. I'm your wicked game master, Connor Lloyd Crews, and joining me today is Bri Robert. Oh, muted, but it's.
Oh, sorry. Multitasking, making candles. Hi, how are you all?
And Scott Heaton.
Hey, hosers.
Yeah, with this episode we're gonna be
Canadian lingo.
We're gonna be having lots of fun facts and places from Toronto that I'll be visiting, and people even maybe making guest appearances via voice, and facts like the fact that I don't know if you guys know this, but Toronto is the city on the world with the lowest ratio of bugs to humans. There's only 2 bugs for every 1 human.
It's pretty good odds.
I want to thank Marina Sakamoto and her band Shunkin for the use of their song Curse off the EP She Nods for our opening. It's been 707 days since the strike ended, and the AMPTP still sucks. How are y'all?
Just doing it. We experienced Tron. We're just Tron.
Getting ready for Halloween. The spooky season is upon us.
Yep, so that's why, of course, we're talking about Tron.
Tron, yeah. Well, it's funny. My letterbox is literally just like horror, Tron, randomly sprinkled.
Well, to talk about this first movie, I'm going to be visiting the beautiful Toronto sign, which, if people don't know, was gifted to the city by Saddam Hussein. Bri, would you like to describe the plot of the original Tron?
It's a good segue. I like that. So it's about this guy, Kevin Flynn, who's played by Jeff Bridges. He is a software engineer, and he used to work for a company called MCOM. They are big company, and they have this thing called Master Commander, and it goes awry and things happen, and he kind of buddies up, does some things, and ends up just going into the machine because he's currently a video game owner.
Much like EA Sports, he's in the game.
He's in the game. Yeah, he goes into the game, figures out there's a game, and he plays it really hard. And then that's about it.
I also thought it was interesting that this is our 64th episode, and we're talking about Tron because
that's funny.
Like Nintendo 64, 64-bit, that kind of stuff.
Right.
But
it looks great. I remember seeing it early as a kid. I think it's a fun movie, so it is what it is. Like I said, I think I said to you guys because you hadn't seen it, I'm like, just expectation wise, look the way it looks. Just you're in an '80s blaster, and just enjoy what that is.
I mean, spoiler.
Yeah, we should mention that Brian. We watched this first one together.
Mm-hmm.
Connor and I had never seen it before.
Mm-hmm.
Brian had seen it when they were a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was curious because I had seen Legacy and I just never got around to watching Tron beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
And I was able to catch up.
I mean, it is. I mean, that was one of the main reasons I wanted to do this or talk about this. Is that I was like, okay, well, I've never seen these fucking movies, and then this was the other big reason I wanted to do this episode.
I mean, that's the main reason for the new hype for sure.
And it was cool. It was cool getting to experience them. I mean, spoiler alert. I think the first one's almost certainly my favorite. And I think the design, the designs are so cool, and nothing really looks like it. Like even the sequels, when they're emulating to whatever degree the original, it never quite looks. There's something so alien and strange about the first Tron that's so interesting to watch. And it reminded me a lot of Reboot, that show in the 90s. People remember that, where it was about programs in the computer, and the user would send down video games and they had to play them essentially, and they would get stuck. There'd be a zombie game, so there'd be an episode where they'd get stuck in a zombie thing, and it was all early CG animation. And I just also like how this first just kind of throws you into it. which is cool. It has this kind of old school grand adventure thing that I think the sequels kind of jettison. The second one kind of tries to do it, but it's a little more, everything's a little too serious.
Yeah. This movie is like very silly, but also very sincere about its silliness.
Mm-hmm.
Like, honestly, similar, and I'm sure this is what they were going for, with Star Wars.
Yeah.
Obviously, Star Wars is more successful, but like, oh yeah, they're all playing it straight, and this whole thing's kind of goofy now, looking back at it. But honestly, I think, Connor, you put it best when we were watching it, when you said, like, if I was 8 years old in 1982, this would have absolutely blown my mind.
I never said if I was 8 years old. I said in 1982, no qualifications. If I was this age and I saw it in 1982, I think it would have blown my mind too. I would have been like, this is the best movie I've ever fucking seen.
Great.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely. I mean, I remember as a kid being like, "Oh my god!" That's why it stuck out, the name, like Tron, because obviously it wasn't like a legacy thing in the sense of like Star Wars, where like you just are like growing up in society to know what it means. Capacity. It was Tron, and it was that like, okay, this is the thing, and then I kind of forgot about it, obviously, until Legacy, and then it was like, oh yeah, this thing I liked.
Heard about it first through like either The Simpsons. It's not definitely The Simpsons. It was that Halloween episode. But like I should say Simpsons or Family Guy or South Park, like references made by like geeks who were of the appropriate age when the movie came out. And
8 to 40.
Yeah, so I was aware of the existence of it, but I'd never seen it. I got the idea. Okay, they're in a computer or whatever.
Yeah.
Which is why, like, but I think like the whole concept is very early '80s in a way that like I don't know if I would recommend this movie to anybody that hasn't seen it if they don't want to. Like, if you're like, hey, if you're interested in seeing what this Tron thing is about, I'll show it to you. But by no means am I like, you have to see Tron.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think if you're interested in the history of visual effects, definitely.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like, if you want to watch this movie for whatever reason,
or
I think you'll.
Another really good reason, Hot Jeff Bridges.
Hey.
And David Warner, who's really good in it. I think it's funny that Tron is just a guy. It's sort of like if Lord of the Rings was called Gandalf.
Exactly. It's like, cool.
Not even because
he's not even anything.
He has like less and less a role. I mean, we're gonna whatever, but Gandalf is at least a major character in all in that trilogy.
Yeah.
And this is just like a guy.
This would be like a guy who sells bread to Gandalf at the on the stand or something.
I always when I saw Legacy. I was like, oh, I thought Tron was the name of the world they were in. I didn't realize it was some dude. And I forgot about that until I watched it again, because I saw Tron Legacy once. When it came out, I saw it in IMAX. And I haven't seen them since. So then this week we watched all three, the first one together, the other two you guys did together. I wasn't available. But again, when we were rewatching this movie, I was like, oh, that's right. Tron's a character, not the world.
I wrote the last set of notes I have when the climax happened is this should have won the Academy Award stand up and cheer moment. And then Tron destroyed Tron, so now Tron can live in peace.
Oh, yeah.
The good guy is called Tron, the bad guy is called Tron. Not actually, but there's like a secondary. He's like a buddy.
Tron is Antifa, basically. It's a thing you just say.
Yeah,
it's Tron.
Yeah, it's woke.
Woke Tron.
There is there's that scientist says the very prescient machines will start thinking and people will stop, which is so true, bestie. I think it's funny that I think it's funny that the bad guy in this one is just like a big robot face. That they basically just created Ultron.
That was definitely something that I first saw in South Park, and I never got the reference until when we watched it. I was
funny! I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
In one of the really early episodes.
Yeah,
but I was like, oh shit, that's where they got that from. So yeah, but yeah, the robot faces roar roar.
I think it's also funny how even the fucking damn programs are a little heteronormative and have gods and stuff, and fucking messy ass Jeff Bridges is kissing Tron's girlfriend.
He's just duding out. He's looking to party the whole time.
The funniest part was when he first sees her, just like walks towards her, and Tron has to be like, whoa, hey.
Yeah.
And
Tron's like, this is the first time I've had to introduce boundaries.
Back. What the hell, Jeff Bridges?
But yeah, no, I mean, I would say that, like, visually it's really cool. I would rewatch the first one. I don't know if I will rewatch the sequels. I would love for they need a fucking 4K of these movies. I'd love to see a 4K of that first Tron. Would look.
I was thinking that or like
sick.
a 70. Imagine seeing that like a giant screen like that.
Oh yeah.
To me, that's like kind of the main thing. And the first one just has the advantage of it has a lighter tone and it's half an hour shorter.
Yes.
And despite being half an hour shorter, I think it actually probably has more plot also.
Yeah. It's what the 80s did well with some of these.
Yeah. Like I generally didn't know, like I got the general idea of like they're in the video game and they've got to, and like there's some weird politics, but also I was like, oh, like there's some like real lore here that I'm just kind of like not totally getting.
They just throw you into it at the beginning,
Yeah. Yeah. I think this one is the more fun ones, where the other two take themselves a little too seriously. Like Tron is important. This is an important thing that people care about, which I feel like a lighter touch for the other two would have been better.
Well, speaking of that, let's move on. I'm going to move on over to one of the delicious restaurants you can experience here in Toronto, Harriet's Rooftop. It's a Japanese bar, and there's sushi rolls. And another fun fact about Toronto, every citizen in Toronto is gay.
Isn't that true?
And also, I heard that my dad could beat up every citizen in Toronto's dad. So,
damn,
what are you gonna do about it? Scott, you want to tell us the plot of Tron Legacy?
All right. It's been 18 years, at least in our world. I'm not sure how long Tron world, but and Kevin Flynn, the main character of the first movie, has gone missing, and his son Sam Flynn receives or is told that his partner, what's his name from the first movie, Tron, the human version of Tron,
Human Tron,
Tron.
Alan, I think.
Yes, Alan, who is Human Tron, who still works for the video game company. Received a page from Kevin Flynn. Sam Flynn investigates it in the old arcade. Gets sucked into the grid, has to escape, and along the way reunite with his dad. Yeah,
it's interesting that it's called Tron Legacy, because I feel like it predicts a lot of Legacy prequel tropes, in that it's kind of the same movie in certain ways. It's a little different. It's kind of like the plot is kind of like if they mix the original movie with Gladiator, kind of, in a weird way. Yeah. There's almost an element of that, of like someone getting like thrown in to this like combat because of who they are and stuff. I also wrote it's kind of Matrix for babies. I feel like both of the sequels are kind of that.
I feel that's a very good description.
Like this one, they choose to make, like, it does look cool. I'm not gonna say it doesn't look cool. Like the movie, both movies look really good, but there's a kind of fidelity to realness to it that I think loses the charm of the first one. Like there's an abstraction to the first one. But one thing both of these sequels got is fucking ripper scores.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of, like I said earlier about the plot stuff, there's a lot of like gazing at things compared to the first one. And there's not as much of a like. I understand Ultron because he's just like an insane computer, and I understand the guy from the first one because he's just like an insane computer. They like humanize the evil Jeff Bridges in this one to the point where I kind of start to not understand what his motivations are, where I'm like, what is he mad about? Like, if he was just like a crazy computer, which I think is what they're going for, but like he's gonna invade the entire world. like what is he doing?
Well, his whole programming is perfection.
Yeah.
So I think his idea is that, like, oh, I perfected this world, but there are other worlds that need perfecting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is, like, the movie, this one especially takes itself so seriously, because, like, the plot is, like, fucking genocide. He's created computer Hitler. Like, I completely forgot about that. Wow. When, like, watching that again, I was like, Jesus Christ. Our friend Anne, her review mentions that, like, the main character probably should have been
Cora
Wild's character. Yeah.
She's fun.
I'm inclined to agree. Like, I feel like we could have done without Sam,
or at least a more even split between I think Sam, Cora, and old Jeff Bridges. Like, I think the best sequences in the movie are probably when they're like hanging out and talking to each other and stuff, and and I mean Jeff Bridges is really good in it. Pretty decent de-aging, even though I will say the second there's like 2 seconds into the third one, there's like a de-aged Jeff Bridges, and I'm like, oh, we've come so far. Like, it looks so much better.
Controversy, the de-aging was like a big like talking point.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a slippery slope.
I watched that one, Legacy, at home on my 4K, and I gotta say, the de-aged Jeff, it took some like, whoa, just like, because of like, oh yeah, this is 2010. Like, I remember when that happened, it was a big deal. And I was like, this looks great. But yeah, watching it now, you're absolutely right. Like,
when you're
I want to go back and watch The Irishman and just be like, oh, Marty, you're killing it. You're killing it, boy. Don't let him say anything about it. Like, so can we talk about the lead?
Garrett Hedlund? Yeah. I mean, he's I would take him over Jared Leto. I'll say that.
That's fair. Yeah, over that.
On a personal level, yeah, but I don't know. He just doesn't have a presence. Like, it's interesting watching him and in this movie. It made me think of how, like, some people don't like Tom Cruise or any like movie stars, or like they always play themselves.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And like, I always want to say, like, that's harder than it sounds. And like, they have a presence, and he just doesn't have the sauce. And especially like, maybe he's a fine actor if he has like a character to work with, but there's not a lot on the page to Sam, so the actor has to bring it. And like, just the comparison between like him and Jeff Bridges in the first movie, of like, there's not that much to Kevin Flynn. He's, I don't know, he used to own a computer company, but now he plays video games or whatever. Like, who the fuck cares? It's just it's hot Jeff Bridges, like you said. And yeah, I think that the movie, like,
yeah, I would agree. I do like Michael Sheen channeling the dad from Twilight.
Yeah.
And
the Riddler, it feels like, and Jim Carrey's Riddler.
Yeah.
I was getting a lot of like third act Jim Carrey Riddler in that.
Uncredited Killian cameo that got me. I thought he was going to be the bad guy in this one. I thought he was going to be like the David Warner, and then I was like, where's he at?
No, he just that was sort of a like Marvel setup for a sequel that never really came to be, because this movie did okay.
Yeah. I mean, it did.
That's one thing we should talk about, is that like, these movies have never been that popular. Tron was not successful in theaters. It became popular on home video, which makes sense. Like, let me pop this in the VCR for the kids to watch, you know, like.
I mean, I think the first two were both technically profitable at the box office, but I just don't think they blew things away, because I think the original when I checked had about a $17 million budget and like a $50 million box office, which again, maybe that's through re-releases over the years. Legacy had like $170 million and like a $470 million box office.
Yeah. Legacy, like, it was definitely, I remember when it came out, it was sort of like just good enough where it's like, well, we didn't shit the bed. We made some money, but
I genuinely think the reason why it took them this long to do another one, considering it is the timing of it, is it's right before Marvel and right before Star Wars started really like cooking at Disney. And so I think if it hadn't been for that, I imagine Disney would have been more interested in pursuing another Tron movie because of the success.
Yeah, I think so. And yeah, you're right. But they were looking to make more like $1 billion, you know, not movies that just made, like, oh yeah, not something that wasn't good enough. Good enough was no longer good enough. They were looking to be $1 billion each time. So yeah, that's why that one kind
of. There's some good stuff in this one though. I like the flying scene at the end is good, and like the DBZ fight and the two Jeffs, and the concept of the Korra character ISOs are a cool idea that I wish the movie did way more with. But I mean, I think more than anything, it's just not having. Neither of these movies are having as much fun. They mostly benefit by, they're basically just, they're best enjoyed as like elaborate, unfortunately story driven laser light shows for cool Daft Punk and or Nine Inch Nails music.
Yeah, like Daft Punk got the rights to Tron and made a feature-length music video. Look at it that way, and pretty good time.
It was up in the theaters. It was up against Black Swan and The Fighter.
Okay.
Christmas time, like that's definitely which one are you going to pick in that? And obviously the buzz that was happening, I remember around The Fighter and the Black Swan at the time was huge.
Yeah.
But
I also remember seeing it and thinking like, the first time. I mean, like, like I wasn't all that like.
Some people really like Legacy, and I kind of wish. I think I have a friend, but I don't think they don't like doing podcasts. I do wish, because there's some people who really like Tron Legacy and who think this new one is like a considerable step down and not, in my opinion, essentially a lateral move.
I would agree. I'd be in your camp. I don't want to yuck anyone's yum.
I could get somebody liking Legacy more, but I also I would see both. To me, it's like I probably like ARES slightly more because I like Nine Inch Nails more than Daft Punk, and that's probably about it.
And the visuals are just like up to date. You know what I mean? Like it's like that looks good.
Yeah.
Like I also think that the plot wise for Legacy, it just didn't know. It was at that time when Legacy films hadn't really taken off, so it didn't really know how to be a Legacy film other than slapping the name on it. You know.
Yeah, I wonder if that's even where it came from. Like Legacy is like such an obvious. It is a bad title. I will also say Tron Ares is a better title. Well, do we want to move on? Speaking of the devil,
I don't have much more to say about.
I actually have here a recorded voice message from Mr. Toronto himself.
Hey, it's me, Mr. Toronto. So happy to be on such a fine program with such a distinguished history.
The city gave this to me, I don't know.
The big show.
Oh, thanks.
Toronto's got its own distinguished history, of course. We're the home of the Blue Jays. Go Blue Jays! We're also the home of Bruce MacArthur, a serial killer who murdered 8 men between 2010 and 2017. Now, I know the Toronto police bungled the case, at first refusing to even admit there was a serial killer. And critics have argued that this was because the victims were all gay men, a demographic the police have historically been a bit antagonistic towards. But I, Mr. Toronto, say, what's the use of pointing fingers? Unless it's on one of those big foam hands you can get at a Blue Jays game. Go Blue Jays! That's all for now. I'm off to the cinema to see Disney's Tron ARES, starring Jared Leto, a man with 9 sexual misconduct allegations. Always remember the Toronto City motto, diversity, our strength.
Oh, well, thank you, Mr. Toronto. You set up my new change of location. We're at Blue Jay Stadium or whatever it's called. And, yeah, we're here to talk about Tron ARES, the new movie. It's Tron's back, and Jay Leno plays Tron, a new Tron, who is from a different Tron, from a bad guy made a new Tron and made a new Tron inside of it. And then they have to figure out a way, because they keep trying to make Trons in the real world, but they need a code, and people are kind of running around everywhere to get this code. And that's basically the plot of Tron 3 ARES.
Code runners.
It's a slightly more interesting story than Legacy, just because it isn't a repeat of the first, but it is pretty generic, and it's just kind of a bunch of shit thrown around. It's kind of cool seeing the stuff in the real world. Like, probably the coolest moment in the movie is the fucking the light cycle cutting the car in half, I think.
Yeah. And then just being like around the buildings. Those shots reminded me of like Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, and then Avengers, the first one. And the entire that whole sequence started to feel like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of the movie The Creator, where like, the visual effects look really, really good. I wish I gave a shit. The movie is pretty, like generic.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's just that 9 Inch Nail score fucking rips. I've been listening, especially to that one, the big song, the As Alive As You Need Me to Be. I've been listening to that a bunch, and it's
I hadn't listened to it prior, like other than the song that was everywhere. Yeah, but like the actual score bits, I wanted to like hear it for the first time on the movie. I was curious how it was used, and that's where on my letterbox I was like, not only is it a main, it's like the main character to me when I'm watching it, because everything else, because Jared Leto's too busy being Jared Leto. He's just being the god like Tron, which fine.
He's fine in it. He's not. He's
fine.
Like,
he's just exactly what you would expect him to do, and that's go be him. So
I'd say
the Nine Inch Nails was the big character.
In addition, this movie not doing that great, I would say that not only have we seen the end of probably Tron as a series, I'm not sure they're going to go to this well again. I wouldn't be surprised if we've seen the end of like Jared Leto leading a movie. You know what I mean? Like, between this and Morbius, like,
didn't Morbius hit better than this for opening weekend?
I think so, technically. So this is a downward trend, and Morbius was like a gag. And I think, and technically, this movie, I feel like
cheaper, probably.
This movie, probably weird. Despite it doing worse, I also feel like it has more goodwill in a weird way. Like, Morbius is like a movie. I mean, nobody gives a shit about Tron ARES, but Morbius is almost like offensive in a way, where it's like a third Tron. It's like, oh, they're trying this again. Whoa, cool. We'll see how good Tron.
Yeah.
Like,
I see what you mean. Yeah.
Like, we've seen so many bad things. That's where like ARES is just like, it's just fine. Yeah. If you feel like looking at some weird shit for a couple hours listening to dope music,
that's really how I felt. Like by the end of this, I was like, I don't know, it's not a bad movie or anything, but more than anything, I was bored. I was like, is this shit over yet? Like, and it wasn't even 2 hours. It was an hour and 59. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think more than anything, boring. Just blah.
Yeah. I mean, like, they have a trio of great ladies at the core, but they waste Gillian Anderson. The other two, I think, are kind of fun. Greta Lee is fun, and I like Jodie Turner-Smith as Athena. They're probably the two, like, more more interesting performances to a certain degree, but they're just kind of like generic blockbuster interesting. They're not like they're really coasting on just the fact that those two ladies, I think, have a lot of charisma, and And the visuals, like I said, you said, are really cool. Especially, I think they go back to the old Tron world.
Yeah.
And that
part
really
was
good.
easily my favorite.
Yeah.
And it looked great. And I was like, oh, they should have done both movies. Should have done more of that.
Yeah.
That's
It at least makes some sense, because I guess at the end of Tron of 2, when the two Jeff Bridges merge, they like blow up the old, so it's like maybe it's like reset to the old like way it was before they developed it or whatever. And
also just, were they suggesting at the end, this is a spoiler, so if you're thinking about seeing it,
skip it.
were they suggesting at the end that Olivia Wilde's character was still out there and that's who he was going?
I think so. Yes, I think because I think the code existed in that programming that programming that's in Legacy, because it was like still associated with Flynn or whatever, but then it got completely erased, and so
Okay, because I was wondering, like, are they suggesting that Olivia Wilde's character only survived 29 minutes? And so no, because I was thinking, is that what happened? And like, no, so it sounds like it didn't. So
no,
cool.
I don't think
like,
so.
Sam is not in this, and I was like, I assume he just wanted to go just hook up with Olivia Wilde.
Yeah, he fucked up with his trust fund money.
Yeah. Good. I'm good. You guys.
Let's see if let's see if we're capable of having children, Olivia Wilde.
Only one way to find out. Another spoiler. I did like. Anderson survived long enough to tell her son to go fuck himself. Before he died.
Yeah.
You did this.
I have to say, we have to bring up Gillian Anderson, because that was one of those things where I was so excited. I didn't know who was in this thing other than Leto. And, you see that, I'm like, oh, okay, we got a saving grace here. I've never seen somebody who just looked like they were on the wrong set more than this movie. They just would wander in with no purpose of a character. I felt for her so much, because she's great, obviously, and just was like, I'm just the mom who can't put up with my evil son.
You know what? She did her shit. She collected her paycheck. Good for her.
Oh, sure.
It's not her.
Like,
it's the character.
No, exactly.
It's the right. Yeah, no, nothing with her. She's amazing.
The character none of the characters in the movie are great, but she as a character specifically doesn't really do. She just exists to like be like, Evan Peters, you fucker, Evan Peters.
Shame on you. She's essentially like a very movie character in that, like, executive with a conscience.
Yeah.
That's not the way we do things, it was like
the most surface like, version of that.
It was as though like they forgot to write a character. That Evan Peters' character was bad. Like that we needed a character to tell him like, oh no, you shouldn't do like like his character's pretty bad from the get-go. Like,
look, and that's what I mean. It's not like she just didn't realize that day one, like your son, like obviously, I mean, we're it's a little too much to look into it, but it's still like, it just felt like, well, I'm so shocked that you would do this behavior.
It's one of those things where like, then Evan's character needed to be much different, where like a professional who seemed like, oh no, you're like the prince, you're like the next one, a responsible one, and something about this project like obsesses him, sort of Lex Luthor-y.
Mm-hmm. Or
that's what I thought too the whole time, Lex Luthor.
Or the other way, you like turn her character halfway through, where she suddenly like, we kind of see that like she is actually more okay with this stuff than she's saying, and she's maybe saving face and is collaborating or something. You know what I mean? Like something like that.
She ends up being like Evan Peters' character actually is like is the one with the conscience. It's like, we can't do this, and she's the one who like
But right there, these are like 3 examples that were so easy to just implement in to just change what that would be. And I know it's something simple, and she is just a mid character like that. But that does add something that at least would have felt like.
But also, I see what they were doing, because again, it's similar to Cillian Murphy. They're trying to set spoilers. They're trying to set up a next movie. Yeah. Because like they essentially were creating a villain.
Yeah.
Like a master villain, and that's his villain origin story. His mother dies. He escapes into Tron world and becomes even Tron, the Troniest Troner.
Yeah. He's gonna
One
be
Tron to
Leto,
rule
though.
them all.
They're gonna have a Tron off.
Yeah.
Oh man, they're gonna Tron each other.
Trend game. Speaking of Trent, they did have did you catch the cameo? You can only hear them. I think they're actually on set for it, but they were the fighter pilots. Trent and Atticus.
No,
it's not as obvious as the Daft Punk, but there is like a photo of them on set in fighter pilot outfit. So I think they did film them in like the little cockpits and stuff.
Have they discussed why this is being they did this score as 9 Inch Nails as opposed to?
I mean, it's Disney, you know. I mean, obviously they did this.
Yeah, that's fine. If like it was just a promotional thing, and it's like, hey, we got Daft Punk last time.
That's what I feel like.
We're gonna have to like we prefer you goes as 9 Inch Nails this time. Yeah.
I think it's also one of the only times where they've had songs with lyrics, I think, and like Trent singing for the most part. I think the main exception I know being just last year's Challengers, the end credit song, and that was technically co-written by Luca Guadagnino. So I also know why maybe they didn't want to credit that as 9 Inch Nails either.
Okay.
But you're probably right. It probably is just a marketing thing.
Yeah,
almost certainly.
You
I mean,
what?
It's Disney money. They're just throwing money around. And if you're in a boardroom going like, all right, let's get 9 Inch Nails. I mean, that, you know.
I mean, I think I would have been into it. I probably would have wanted to see it knowing they were doing the score regardless, just because it seems like the kind of thing that is cool for them to do the score for, you know?
And yeah, you know what? You said it during the music of the first one. It's like, I don't know about this music. And it's like, yeah, it in the first one, it does, like, the score is a bit weak.
Yeah.
It's trying to be, like, synthy and futuristic, but I see, like, how, like, that's, like, they heard that and they got Daft Punk and they got 9 Inch Nails. You know, it makes sense. It's like, hey, do this, but, like, don't make it suck. And they're like, oh, yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
And if this had been a home run, you're then creating something where, like, okay, we did another big band or act. That'll be our Tron
that
thing.
could be the thing.
You know?
Tron 4, scored by Steely Dan.
Yeah. And then Bad Bunny. I think Bad Bunny and Steely Dan are gonna do it together.
It's Bad Bunny and Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
And there's no Jeff Bridges has been killed. There's no white people in this one. But briefly before we move on to something better, well, does anyone have anything else? Other Tron ARES thoughts?
Well, it's gonna leave my head in a few minutes, and that's gonna be Tron.
Yeah.
I think to paraphrase Mean Girl, stop trying to make Tron a thing.
Well,
for real.
Speaking of that, the future of Tron, you know,
right.
the beautiful Toronto, of course, is a city most associated with the franchise Tron because of the pun you can make with the name. And, yeah, I think that they should do nothing.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Oh, you know what? They should, you know what actually they should really do? They should release the earlier movies on 4K. Because I don't.
Yeah, all three. Release all three.
Yeah. Well, they'll 100% release a new one on 4K because it's a new movie. But
yeah.
And I guess they could do more video games, like open, like I don't know, if they want to do video games, that'd be kind of cool.
One thing I will say, I guess we're not done quickly. There's not nearly enough. This one had more cycling, but like not cycling and like the disc fighting. Like, come on, that's Tron. That's what we're here to see. I forgot in the first one or the second one, it's really only that like
opening.
When he arrives.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, well. I think it's time for Connor's Wicked Games, sponsored by today, the city of Toronto. Every week, like Jigsaw, I like to play a little game. Tonight, the Toronto Gauntlet. We've done many games like this before, where there's like a first round, you'll get some points, a second round with some multiple choice that'll multiply, and then a final Jeopardy round. Round one, Tron, Toronto, or Toes. I'm going to read someone's name for 1 point. Tell me if that person is associated with Tron, Toronto, or Toes. For up to 1 extra point, tell me what this person did. You know, like if they worked on Tron, what they did, or how they're associated with it. We'll start with you, Bri. Trent Reznor.
Tron.
And what do this motherfucker do?
Soundtrack scoring, mastermind,
Scott,
audio break.
are you going to agree with that?
I am going to agree with that.
All right, well, that's 2 points for both of you. Scott, how about Drake?
Mm, that guy.
That would be Toronto.
Mm-hmm. And how's he associated with Toronto?
They'd rather he wasn't.
They've been trying to trade him for years, actually.
Yeah, that's...
Bri, are you going to agree with all this?
Yeah, it's all
right. That's 2 points for both of y'all. Bri.
He likes young girls.
Quentin Tarantino.
What's the other thing between? Do we have Toronto?
Toronto and Toes.
Okay, yeah, Toes, for sure. And then just like his catalog of work.
his whole catalog. Okay.
There's some toes in everything he's got.
He's. Are you saying he's an enjoyer of them?
He's
perhaps?
an enjoyer of the toes.
Scott,
yes, I believe.
I agree.
Okay.
I think that's how we should. I agree.
Scott, Samuel de Champlain. Toronto. And any idea what this guy did?
He was their 14th mayor.
Bri.
Yeah, Toronto entertainer.
That's 1 point for both of you. This isn't Toronto. This is indeed Toronto. He was the French explorer who found the region, quote unquote, quote unquote, found the region. He was, I'm sure there were.
Hey, everything was just done with the handshakes and highs. It was just very, very chill.
Bri, this one's for you. Thomas Bangalter or Bangalter. I'm not really sure. Thomas Bangalter. Thomas Bangalter.
Maybe Tron. He's a production worker.
Scott.
I will also say Tron. First grip.
You just prices right at me right there.
Yeah.
1 point for each of y'all. Thomas Bangalter is the real name of one of the two guys from Daft Punk.
Shit! I have no idea what their names are.
That's why I kind of timed that so that one would go to Bri, because I was like, if anyone knows, it'll be Bri, and then Scott will get to.
I've honestly put enough Daft Punk because I always really liked them, but never like obsessively the way a lot of people got really into them. But I obviously really appreciate them.
Next up, Earl Vickers. Scott. Earl Vickers. What was that? Toes, Bri?
Yeah.
And what was the association? Sorry.
He was I don't know, serial killer, and he collected toes.
Bri?
I like that. But I want to also try to be different. No, I'm gonna stick with it. He's a toe serial killer.
Unfortunately, no points for anyone. This is the guy who. This is the music programmer for the first Tron video game called Tron.
Sorry to Earl Vickers' family for.
You know what? That's what he wants you to think. That's
yeah.
Next up, Sandra Gottlieb. And that goes to Bri.
She's Canadian, Toronto, and a lawyer.
Scott.
Welcome.
I'm gonna also say Toronto. I'm going to say she was their first female district attorney.
Yeah, she's like a Canadian journalist, so I'm gonna say everyone. But you guys both get 1 point for saying Toronto.
Yeah.
And last up,
are we tied?
Yeah, right now everyone is 100% tied.
We gotta stop agreeing with each other.
Hey.
Yeah, that's where you need like the third game player just for the mix of.
I'm okay with it. And lastly, Scott, Ernst Heinrich Philipp August Haeckel.
I'm gonna say toes.
What was that?
Toes.
And any idea with this guy?
He invented the thing you put your foot in at shoe stores to measure your feet.
Bri?
I think from Tron, the Master Commander is true Master Commander.
Well, that's 1 point for Scott. This is a man who, on the Wikipedia for toes, for toe, under the subtitle Evolution, it says that he traces the standard vertebrate five-toed schema from fish fins via amphibian ancestors. I don't know what any of that means. I did look into some other...
I tuned out so much when you just started saying those words.
He was a German zoologist. I looked into some other things he said. Yikes!
Top five. Let's hear it.
Let's hear some of them there.
Well, round two. So Scott, you got 10 and Bri 9. So it's pretty close. We're doing multiplier, multiple choice. We will. I guess let's start with. We'll start with Bri again, unless you want to defer to Scott for the first one.
I don't care.
All right. What famous pervert has said to been inspired by Tron? A. Woody Allen, B. John Lasseter, or C. Louis C.K.?
I would love it to be Woody Allen, just because I could just imagine. I feel like that's one of those where he's just in his fun time. He's just like, I'm gonna throw Tron on. I love Tron, and just get super into it. But I don't know. What's the third one?
Louis C.K.
Probably, because it just seems like something he would just casually say like that.
Scott.
John Lasseter.
It is indeed John Lasseter, who inspired to create Pixar after he saw Tron, and he was like, "Hell yeah!"
I honestly did not know who that. I don't know who the guy is.
Oh, you should have asked.
Sorry.
Should have asked. You could have asked.
I should have smart.
Scott, what video game company's specific branch developed The Warriors based on the film? A. Ubisoft Toronto, B. Rockstar Toronto, or C. EA Toronto?
Is this recently or?
No, not really. It's like 15 years ago.
Okay. It was
Ubisoft, Rockstar, or EA.
Yeah. I'm gonna say Rockstar.
Bri?
Let's say Ubisoft.
Well, Scott got it again. It is Rockstar. Those GTA freaks, they made a Warriors game in like
that's crazy
15 years ago or something. Bri,
what actually helped, because if it was like a video, the reason I asked is it was a game like when the Warriors came out.
Oh yeah.
Like that's I guess what I meant. But when you said 15 years ago, I was like, oh, that's Rockstar. And then like
yeah. Well, it could have been the other ones, maybe. But I mean, EA mostly makes sports games and more bigger licenses, and Ubisoft is like Tom Clancy shit. Bri, what is seemingly, this was very difficult to research, the first video game ever created? A. Birdie the Brain, B. Nimrod, or C. Christopher Strachey's Checkers?
What's the first one?
Birdie the Brain.
I've never heard of Birdie the Brain.
You have heard of Christopher Strachey's Checkers, though.
Yeah, no, I'm a master. I'm the
It's
master.
the only checkers I play.
Obviously, yeah. If I go to it, I go to that.
We're playing with Strachey's rules.
What's the other one?
Nimrod.
Sure.
Scott?
I'm gonna actually guess the checkers.
Well, you're both wrong. It was Birdie the Brain.
Oh, Birdie.
What is Birdie the Brain?
It was made. So the reason this was hard to research is because technically there was a lot of video games that were made before, like, there was like not a visual aspect to certain ones, and then there was also like the consumer aspect and like actually meant to be played as opposed to like as a demonstration. But Birdie the Brain was basically like a computer that you could play tic-tac-toe with, that they invented. This is like in the 50s.
So that was before the tennis.
These are all before Pong. Yeah, actually.
Okay.
These I looked it up because technically there's a predecessor to Pong called just like computer tennis or something. And technically that's the first like video game that had both video elements and was like meant to play for like enjoyment outside as opposed to as a demonstration. But there was all this stuff before like that. It was kind of interesting, but it was also just like, I don't know. I thought it was going to be like an easy answer. And,
yeah. No, that makes sense though.
No, but yeah, I'm sure like this Birdie the Brain was not, I assume, released to like the public. It was just the idea of like, we can do a computer program now.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
because it probably had so many scenarios you could run, and that kind of thing. And yeah.
All right, Scott, the last question here before the final round. Who is Toronto's mayor? A dog, B, a raccoon, or C, Hulk Hogan's ghost?
a dog.
Bri?
A dog, and what are the others?
A raccoon or Hulk Hogan's ghost?
Hulk Hogan's ghost. He's haunting.
You know what? It's weird that this happened, but you're actually both right, because in a crazy twist, there was a tie, and they're co-mayors. The dog gets the city during the week, and Hulk Hogan gets vacations and weekends.
And Rob Ford kind of kicks in every once in a while just to say hi.
Yeah. Let's see. Bri, you have 14 points. I'm going to round up. And Scott, you have 30. And we have a final round here. The category is Tron.
How decimated. I'm sorry. I just got to say how decimated I just got during that round. Like, it was 10-9 after round one. Jesus, terrible. All right, well, let's get ready to lose.
The category is Tron video games, so please make your wagers. I'm assuming you've made your wagers. The question: name any Tron video game that isn't the first one that's just called Tron. Bri, I'll let you go first, and Scott, I won't let you copy his answer.
Name a video game?
Yes, that was... Well, how much did you wager, first off?
I threw it all in. What am I going to do with it?
Hell yeah. Name a Tron video game that isn't the one that's just called Tron.
Is there a Tron 2?
Do you mind, Scott, if I give like a small hint on this?
You're the game master. You decide how we can.
There is kind of a Tron 2, and it's essentially Tron 2, but I'd like for you to get the exact title more exact. What would Tron 2 be called? Think about it.
Electric Boogaloo Part 2. No, I don't know. Tron Revenge. Tron Revenge. That's got to be something.
It is Tron 2.0. I was trying to get you to get the point
you know
off.
what you needed? You needed to say something about Megan, and I would have been like, "Oh,
Well, then
Tron
that would have been.
Yeah, that's not a hint.
That's just me telling you.
I'm just telling you how to hint. That's all. You know, this is my.
Scott, how much did you wager? One. Okay. And any guesses?
Let's say Tron Light Cycle.
Let me look. I think there might actually be one called just Tron Light Cycle.
How many are there?
There's a bunch. I'll read them down. I don't actually think there is one just called Light Cycle, actually. But there is here. I'll read them down. Scott, gold medal. Bri, sorry, you should have wagered 13 points. You know what? I'll give you a point back so you get a silver because you did get the Tron too.
Honestly, I no, toss it in my bronze. I don't need any of your pity.
No, it's not a bronze. You get 0 points. You don't get anything.
Fine.
So okay. But it does look like. Let me look at these games here. It's there's a couple that are called like Tommy Tronic Tron. That's just like for like a specific thing. Tron Deadly Discs, Tron Solar Sailor, Tron Mesotron, Discs of Tron, GL Tron, Tron 2.0. Space Paranoids, they made like a game based off the in-game game.
Okay.
Tron Evolution Battle Grids, Tron Runner, Tron Identity, Tron Catalyst, and then a handful of like they've been featured in other games like Kingdom Hearts 3D Dream Drop Distance, I guess, had a Tron world or something. So
people play these.
Yeah, I mean, definitely the Kingdom Hearts one. People play.
It's just funny because, like I said, with Filmland, it feels like one of those things where like clearly nobody saw it, but like video game, it has such its own universe, obviously.
Well, I don't know how popular all those are necessarily,
but still, to even have that amount of titles.
Yeah,
for them.
It is kind of the thing that makes the most sense because you watch the first one and because I do think to a certain degree, like the light cycle thing kind of helped popularize the what's it called? It's like Centipede, essentially. It's like the same concept, essentially.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Going around and not trying to hit. And so, but yeah. Scott, you got your thingamajig?
Yes.
All right, so let's go over to Scott for.
All right, welcome to Scott's Comic Corner, brought to you by Eric Clapton and Tim Hortons. Tim Hortons, come and grab a cup of coffee. All right, so
get those Timbits in there too.
Last week, because it's Wednesday, so I haven't read as much for this week. But last week we had the release of DC KO, the big event that DC is going to be doing. It's a 5-part series. It's going to go through March. KO stands not for knockout, although that's kind of what it is, but King Omega, which is what Darkseid is now. Mm-hmm. And he essentially he got his essence from the Absolute universe. And while this chapter takes place all in the regular DC universe, it's very clear that the Absolute characters are going to be part of the story eventually, at least the main three. We see them, just their legs in this one. And so this one is sort of the qualifying. And 32 contestants they have to fight each other. Whoever is victorious will have enough power to fight Darkseid and can then remake the DC universe, because they have to fight to win. So I assume characters are going to die. A bunch of characters died in this one right away. So it's a fun series, and I'm looking forward to seeing what this event's going to be. Nice. A whole bunch of titles are being attached to it. You know, Superman's attached to it, which I've been reading. Flash is going to be attached. Teen Titans, and in December it's going to be like all the fights. Like There's going to be like 5 different issues. They just released New York Comic-Con who's fighting who in what issue. So that'll be a big deal.
Nice.
And then that'll move on to January. December is the all the fight month. They haven't really talked too much past that, but the whole series goes until March. So yeah, that's what's happening in DC. Over at Marvel, we're in the Age of Revolution, Age of Revelation. Sorry, and this is the World of Revelation. It's a one-shot. It's from 3 different writers about kind of what's going on in the rest of the Marvel universe.
I see that. That's
like
the evil Doug Ramsey on the cover. It's spooky.
Yes, he's Revelation, and he is the main antagonist throughout. Which brings us to this came out last week, as well as Amazing X-Men, which is the continue of Jed McKay's run on the X-Men series. And I would say, like, if you're following the Age of Revelation series, the stuff Jed McKay writes is probably
stuff.
Yeah, like he's writing the Book of Revelation, which is the main story, but like this involves all the characters in it. And so if you haven't read the prelude, this almost feels like the second issue of, after the prelude. But they're going on their own adventure, so we'll see how it connects. Binary is the continuing of the Phoenix story, although it's not Jean Grey. Slight spoiler, although you find it out as soon as you open the book, and they always say, like, for the X-Men books, who's the character. It's Carol Danvers. In this story, Jean Grey is dead. They have not explained her death, and it seems like they're going to have to without giving spoilers, but it's interesting, and I liked it. And I liked Stephanie Phillips' run on Phoenix. I'm not sure if it's coming back. I know Jed McKay's X-Men is coming back, like, once this ends in January, as well as Gail Simone wrote.
Isn't it even like picking up the numbers? So it's like whatever the last.
Yes, it's not. Yeah, it's not rebooting. They're not starting over at 1. It'll be like whatever. I think they ended on like 24 or something.
So it'll be 25 or something.
Yes, something like that. Same as I haven't read it yet, but Gail Simone is doing Unbreakable X-Men, which is essentially a continuation of Uncanny X-Men. And once this ends in January, it'll be the same situation for Uncanny X-Men, where like it's just picking up where they left off.
Nice.
2 other books in there. I haven't gotten all of them. Like, there's a book called Sinister 6, which is Sinister's going to go up against Doug Ramsey. I just, there's only so much. My gallery only can stretch so far. Same as Long Shots, which is a Mojo story. Jonathan Hickman co-wrote it. Just, know. But I do like, it was Erica Schultz's, her Wolverine, Laura Kenny, and now she's Sabretooth. And she's working for Doug Ramsey, and and the story is why she chose to be Sabretooth, which might make sense if you read more of the Age of Revelation. And Rogue Storm, I don't quite know why, but I know Storm is trying to destroy the world, and Rogue and a team has to stop her. That's the storyline. It's from the writer who worked on the Storm standalone series, which I enjoyed, although I dropped just again. You have to pick and choose. You can only read so many. And then the final thing this week, part 8 of One World Under Doom. Story continues. Penultimate issue. Next issue is the last one.
Nice.
Good ending. Or good. Cool. Let's see how they wrap this whole thing up, and we'll see. I enjoyed the story. Like I said before, it wasn't Age of Revelation feels like the big status quo shifting event in the universe. This was just a story that kind of happened. And, I guess we could talk more about it when the next issue comes out. Story I enjoyed. I really like Ryan North as a writer. He wrote one of the Fantastic Four story in World of Revelation. It's great. It's a Franklin Richards story. And so, I've enjoyed the writing in this. I've enjoyed his take on the characters. So we'll see how it all wraps up.
Nice. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I'm. They're wrapping up the Ultimate Universe soon. I'm kind of bummed about it.
How you feeling about that?
A little. I'm mostly annoyed. I thought it was going to keep going, so I had dropped some series, and now I'm annoyed because I'm like, well, I should have just kept them so I could have I could own all of them.
That's how I felt about the some of the From the Ashes story. Where it's like, okay, there's only going to be 10. I'll just get the whole series.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
But,
and also, I get it.
Yeah, and it's a little, but it'll be cool as long as they get to do appropriate endings. Especially, I mean, the ones I care about are mainly the Ultimates and Ultimate X-Men, and Ultimate Spider-Man to a lesser degree. But yeah, but is everything? But does anybody have anything else? I love motherfucking into genocide and Palestine and everywhere else. Peacemaker season 2 was really good. I know some people didn't like the last episode, and I agree. The first time I watched it, I was kind of like, oh, like I thought there was gonna be some sort of bigger event or something.
Yeah.
But it is I think the bigger thing is that if I ever watch Peacemaker season 2 with someone, I'll kind of tell them the plot climax is the 6 and 7 episodes, and then episode 8 is kind of like the emotional climax and setting up for like what the next step in these characters' journeys is going to be. But it was still a really good episode.
Yeah. I'm going to be interested to watch the whole season as a whole again.
Yeah.
I know the first season came out on Blu-ray. I hope this one is too, just because I'm sitting watching ads on HBO Max. Also, they look great, but yeah, this season didn't quite go the way I thought it was going to go, which good for them for surprising me. And I now that I know what it is, I feel like I want to watch it again and see, like, okay, now that I know the story he's telling, we can go with it.
Yeah.
And hey, speaking of James Gunn, I got myself a Superman Steelbook.
Hell yeah.
Oh, nice.
Great. Yeah.
Well, that was really dope. How much was that shit? Oh, it's like lenticular things, like it's a slip on it.
Yeah. Now, I will say, I feel this should go the other way, because it looks like Crypto is outside
Looking in,
Superman's, and it should have been Superman's back and Crypto, because that's what we want to see anyways.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a 4K Steelbook. How much was it? I don't know, probably like 55, maybe 60 bucks, Walmart. I don't get these all that often.
Oh no, I don't. That's why I'm asking, because I can't anymore. Yeah.
But James Gunn's my guy, and I was thinking, no, this is kind of like he also got the Batman 4K.
Nice.
I believe he's making a great double feature, and I know we've talked about this, how like James Gunn's gonna do his own Batman, but I was thinking in some universe, if they would have if this movie would have been part of James Gunn DCU, and if they could have had like Superman come out in July and the Batman come out in October. What an amazing start to a DC universe.
No,
and it's interesting because DC gets a lot of shit, but they made 2 of the best superhero movies of the last 5 years.
Yeah.
They've just also made a lot else.
Well, those are definitely like course corrections from the previous couple of years.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't know. I've liked both of those better than most of Marvel's output in since 2020.
Yeah.
Certainly in their movies. So it's interesting.
Well, yeah. Well, I want to thank Bri here for composing our outro. James Bond Club will start in late January with the first 2 films. I want to shout out in the next episode in a week or 2. We're going to be doing a Monday night movie night roundup of some scary Halloween appropriate movies like Spooky and Shakma and Money Plane, and it's going to be a real hoot. I think that you should follow us on CinemaCurse666 on Instagram and TikTok. Smash that like button, like and subscribe. Share this episode with your friends. Share this episode with your local video game programmer. That was an easy one today. Yeah. Bye-bye, Toronto.
Bye-bye.